Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be having a look at the new Xiaomi Pad 7 Pro. So I've had this for 4 weeks now, so I'm sorry it's taken a while to do the review, but I wanted to test it out properly. I don't like to just do a quick review. I like to make sure I've done a real world test on the product before I actually put it on the channel, as you all know. So this is Xiaomi's latest professional tablet that's aimed at the iPad Pro market and the more professional level tablets. It's not the same specs as like an iPad Pro, doesn't have an OLED screen or anything like that, but it has a really good LCD display and a really powerful Snapdragon chipset. So it's a really powerful tablet, as we'll get into in this review, and it has got some great features. So I've got the full keyboard case for it, the pencil. I've got lots of thoughts on this tablet after having it for 4 weeks and using it a lot. So let's get into this review and find out, is this tablet worth buying, and can it replace your iPad potentially? Or is it an alternative to the iPad? Because it's nice to have an alternative to Apple products, as I would like to have on this channel as well. So let's get into this review and find out, is this tablet for you? So just before we get into the Xiaomi Pad 7 Pro review, let's have a word from today's sponsor, which is keysfan.com. So I'll put this link for you down below in the description, and let's get in to find out what this company does. So they've kindly sponsored this video, and they are a software company that provide product keys for a variety of different software that you would be using, such as Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Office, and lots of different bundles like Office 2019, 365, Windows 11, Windows 10, and what you can do is download the Windows software from Microsoft website and then purchase the product key from themselves, which they offer at a substantial discount. So at the moment they're looking at Windows 10 professional product key for $19, and they're also offering 50% off for viewers of this channel with the code down below, and also 62% off Microsoft Office, which is a bargain. So this is much cheaper than buying it through Microsoft itself. The product keys are 100% genuine. It's just done through a different channel. So please check them out. I'll put the link down below to all their products. They are a really, really good company to look at, and some really good discounts are available. So as I say, Windows 11 Pro $14.99, Windows 10 Pro $9.66 with the 50% off discount code down below, and Office 2021 Pro for $39. It's so much cheaper than buying it through Microsoft, and it's 100% authentic, genuine product keys. So I will be definitely using these guys if I need some more software, because it's so much cheaper than buying through official Microsoft channels, but it is the same product key. So please check them out, and links all down below. So now I've had a word from today's sponsor, let's get into this Xiaomi Pad 7 Pro review. So first of all, let's have a look at the specifications on this tablet. So it's powered by Snapdragon's 8S Gen 3 chipset. So it's not the most powerful Snapdragon chipset available. It's an 8S. As we know, the 8S is a bit of a downgrade over the 8, which it's often seen in tablets. I don't really know why they use the 8S in tablets and not the full fat 8th Gen 3, but anyway, it's really powerful. I've not had any problems with it. Obviously, tablets are now coming out with the Snapdragon 8 Elite in them as well, so this could start to look maybe underpowered. But honestly, from day-to-day use, I had no problems with using this tablet. Out and about, it handled graphics work really well. Like you could download Adobe products on it. You could even do a bit of light video work on it. It was absolutely fine. And as a genuinely powerful tablet, if you don't have your laptop with you and you want an Android powerful tablet, this is a really good alternative to an iPad Pro in my mind, because of the keyboard case and the pencil. So it's also got a huge battery in it, so 8,850 milliamp battery. This is one thing that I really like about Android tablets, is they put massive batteries in them, so you get like 2 or 3 days of intensive use out of it, or then really long standby times. I can literally leave this tablet, not charge it up for probably like a week, and it still has like 90% battery. It's just great, because then you come to like an iPad tablet, for example, and it's drained right down. So it's just nice to have that really big battery in it. And it's also got 67 watts hypercharging, so it charges right to 100% in 79 minutes, which is really quick, really fast. Do bear in mind, it doesn't come with a charger in the box, so you need to have a high-speed charger to do that. We've also got Dolby Atmos support, Dolby Vision, and I have to say the screen, even though it's not an OLED screen, so I've tested pads like the Honor Pad, Magic Pad 2, which is an OLED, and it's really hard to find. I find it's really hard to find Android tablets at a sensible price with OLED panels due to the cost, so a lot of them use LCD, and actually, these LCD displays are really good. So the display in this Xiaomi Pad 7 Pro is actually really good for the money. So pricing on this tablet starts at about £369. It gets you 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, all of which is high-speed, fast storage. So that's a decent starting price for that amount of RAM and storage. And I did try the base model out, so I've tried both the base model and the higher spec model, which is 12 gig of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. And I have to say the 12 gigabyte model does feel a little bit faster when you're doing lots of multitasking. So if you're going to be doing a lot of multitasking, which the Pro model is aimed at, I would go for the 12 gigabytes of RAM. It does feel quicker, and it's only, I think it's about another £50 more. It's not a lot of money, so I would spend the extra money and get that extra RAM and storage, and you get double the amount of storage on it as well, which is you're going to want on this tablet if you use it for any video work or photo work or anything like that. So the display is 3.2K display, so it's nearly 4K, which is really nice to see on a tablet, because it's very rare you get a 4K or even close to 4K display on a tablet these days. And it's 144 Hz refresh rate, so it's plenty fast enough for gaming. Really good gaming tablet. The Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, is really quick, even though it's not the most powerful CPU available, and is plenty fast enough for light to moderate gaming, I would say. So because it's an LCD display, the peak brightness is about 800 nits, so it's not the brightest display on the market, but actually HDR footage looks quite good on it, and so does gaming and other things. So also it's a rectangular shape, so this is a problem with tablets. When you're watching media on it, you get massive black bars at the top and the bottom, and you can zoom in, but you lose that. So I do prefer the wider aspect ratio tablets like the Samsung S10 Ultra for that, for more media consumption, because you've got a bigger screen, but then it's a bigger tablet. So, this tablet is aimed at professionals, people who are out on the road, creatives, and I think it does that really well. But obviously you've got that really good display to use if you want to do multimedia consumption as well, which is obviously going to do that when you're out on the road. So, it's not a bad tablet at all in terms of its screen. I think it supports every HDR standard under the planet, Dolby Vision, HDR10, and that's really good to have that thrown in there, like the iPad Pro, for example. So on the back of the tablet, you've actually got a decent camera on this. You've got a 50 megapixel AI camera, and it actually takes 4K 60 video. It's not a bad camera. It's much better than the iPad Pro's camera, for example. And the front camera is a 32 megapixel camera that does up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. So it's a great camera, supports HDR. It's a good camera for video calls or Teams calls. It works really well. And it's on the side of it, you've got a fast, high-speed USB 3.1 port, which supports. Well, it's not super high speed. It supports up to 5 gigabits per second, which is fine. I've used it connected to a dock. I've connected it to a monitor, and it displays output fine via HDMI. It all works really well. So you can use it like a mini tablet. So the actual tablet itself. So I've got the keyboard case with it and the pencil, and I think that you can get it thrown in as a bundle. I didn't get that to buy extra, but if you have to get it free from Xiaomi, it's about £80, if not, and about 80 quid for the pencil. So it can start to add up. You probably, if you have to buy it all separately, looking at about £550, £600. So I get it's not a cheap tablet, but it's sort of very mid-market for Android tablets. If you look at a Samsung series, they go up to £1,500, £600. They're very expensive. This is still a very, very good priced tablet for this amount of performance and the amount of power and the amount of storage you get on it, I think, and the display as well. So how do I find the keyboard case? So the keyboard case is very good. The keyboard's really nice. The case feels well made. It charges the tablet and it charges the pencil on top if you click the pencil to the top of it. So it's good. It doesn't have a trackpad, just bear in mind. That's one thing I do miss from it. But the upside to that is you get a much smaller footprint. You can use it sat on the sofa. So I don't know, do I want a trackpad on my tablet? I'm still not sure about this. So let me know what you think about that. Do you want trackpads on tablets? Because I've got Samsung's S10 Ultra with this huge keyboard case. You can't use on your lap. You have to sit at a table with it. And it is massive, but it does feel like a laptop when you're using it. But I've also got laptops, so do I actually need both? Probably not. So, on a Magic V2 doesn't have a trackpad either, and I still love that tablet. So to me, it's not a deal breaker, but just bear that in mind. It doesn't come with a trackpad on the keyboard case itself. So now we've gone over the specs on all this. Let's have a look at the design of the tablet and how it actually performs in the real world. So the tablet is available in 3 different colours, which is nice. We don't get boring colours. It comes in grey, which is a bit dull, blue and green. So I got the blue, which is quite subtle, as you can see here. Actually, so I got the green. I did have a blue one. I exchanged it for the green one because I preferred the colour. So yes, this is the green Xiaomi Pad 7, and I think it's lovely. I think it's really nice. It feels really well made. Aluminium back with the connection on here for the keyboard, and the big camera module there, which is actually quite decent. I'll show you some snaps off the camera on the video actually, because it's pretty good. Amazing what you can get off this camera. It's all made aluminium around the display, and then glass on the front, obviously. So it feels as premium as an iPad. I have no problems with the build quality on this tablet. It feels really, really well. And if you have a Xiaomi phone as well, it connects into the ecosystem. So it's really good if you do have that Xiaomi phone to connect to your tablet. But obviously it works with any Android phone easily. And also any iPhone you can probably manage with Android and iPhone. I know a lot of people don't like that, but there's lots of workarounds and you can do it. So it weighs about 500 grams. It's probably lighter. It's much lighter than an iPad Pro, for example. And it's really easy just to throw in your bag, and it feels like it will definitely withstand a lot of use. So how did I find this using it in the real world then? So the main upside for me was the portability of it, the screen quality being a 3.2K screen, the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 chipset, which isn't the most powerful, but is powerful enough for this tablet. It felt fine. So if you're if you're looking at sort of spending about £400-500 on a tablet, I think this is definitely should be up there on your bucket list, because it is fantastic value for money. So I've tried out tons of tablets this year. I've tried out the Honor Magic V2, which I do love. I think it's one of the really good tablets. That's definitely the one to consider, but this is a more modern tablet. I think it's a newer release, so it's got slightly better specs on it. And I like the fact that you can get 2 different memory configurations on different colours. Honor's very limited about what you can get in the UK. If you're in different markets, you'll be able to get different specifications. I know in the US market you won't be able to get this. I don't think Xiaomi sell it in the US, but it's definitely, if you're in the European market or anywhere else, it's definitely worth looking at. And I just haven't really got anything bad to say about this tablet. I think for the money and the fact that you can often get the pencil and the case thrown in for free with the tablet, it's really good value. It just is an iPad beating tablet in my mind. Like, it just shows how good Android tablets are getting. I've made some notes on the screen on here, and it is really, really easy to write on. You can put a screen protector on it, like a paper type screen protector, which I love. I love those. And that 144 Hz refresh rate on the screen as well is so nice to have. It's so snappy, so smooth, and it never lags or feels like it's going to slow down. So I would go for the 12GB model, 512GB of storage. I think it's an absolute bargain at that money. Yes, it's still £500, but if you're looking to spend that on a tablet, you've got a fully laminated display, a professional tablet that you can take out and about, good viewing angles, really nice bright LCD display. It's not OLED as we've mentioned, but a really nice screen. So I don't really have anything negative to say about this tablet. I think it's really nice. You've got a nice dock at the bottom here that, just like it's a really nice version of Android. It runs HyperOS, which a lot of people don't really like sometimes, or some people, it's a bit like Marmite, as I've said on other Xiaomi reviews, but I think it works better on the tablet than it does on the phones, because you've got the dock down here, which is nice, which works really well. Xiaomi's browser is actually okay. I still use Chrome, and you've got all the Google integration on here, but actually Xiaomi's software doesn't take over too much on the tablet. I find it takes over more on the phone, so actually I think it works better on their tablets than on the phone, but that's just my personal preference. So let's finish this review then, find out what other people think. So would you buy this tablet? Let me know down below if you're thinking about buying a tablet like this one. As you see on the side, it's got Dolby Vision Atmos support on it written on the side, which is just a nice premium touch to have as well. Would you like to buy this tablet? Would you consider buying it?